Imagine a world shaped not by the quiet rise of mammals, but by the thunderous footsteps of giants. A world where the asteroid that ended the reign of dinosaurs simply missed, and life continued its ancient rhythm, unchanged for millions of years. In this alternate reality, humanity is not the ruler of Earth, but a fragile newcomer, forced to grow, survive, and evolve beneath the shadows of colossal creatures. This is the story of a planet where humans and dinosaurs walk the same ground. When our ancestors first opened their eyes, they did not see mammoths on the horizon or hear the distant roar of saber-toothed cats. Instead, they were surrounded by titans, towering herbivores that moved like living mountains, and fierce predators whose presence shaped every moment of human existence. Early humans learned quickly that survival demanded caution, intelligence, and unity. Strength alone meant nothing in a world where a single creature could outweigh an entire village. To stay alive, the first tribes built their homes in high places, on cliffs, in mountain caves, and on rocky ledges where the largest animals could not reach them. They traveled mostly at night, when many of the great predators rested. Their knowledge of tracks, scents, sounds, and shadows grew into a deep instinct passed from generation to generation. In the beginning, people did not hunt dinosaurs. They studied them, they avoided them, they feared them, and eventually, they revered them. For these early tribes, great herbivores became symbols of creation and stability. The ground shook when they walked, and forests bent beneath their massive bodies. To the human mind, they were living gods, keepers of the earth. The sky was ruled by winged beings, enormous and graceful, whose wide circles above the cliffs inspired myths of spirits and messengers from the heavens. And lurking in the darkness of jungles and valleys were the predators, powerful, silent, and patient. Their presence shaped the earliest stories of evil, chaos, and the eternal struggle for life. But as humans grew smarter, the balance slowly shifted. They created tools, long spears sharpened with stone, slings that could strike from a distance, fires that formed protective circles around the night camps. They built warning towers from wood and stone, and they learned to work together to face danger. Humanity never sought to defeat the great predators, only to outthink them. And in time, people did more than just hide. They adapted. Large traps carved into the earth, natural corridors shaped by stone walls, clever diversions using noise and fire, all became part of a growing system of defense. For the first time, small groups of humans could protect their homes from the most fearsome hunters. It was not dominance, but coexistence through caution and strategy. And then, something remarkable happened. Humans began to form relationships with smaller dinosaur species, quick, intelligent, and curious creatures. These animals were not as terrifying as the giants, yet still powerful and agile. Over generations, certain tribes learned to guide them, feed them, and eventually tame them. Small herbivores became companions and helpers, carrying loads and clearing paths. Some tribes even managed to bond with swift, dog-sized carnivores, forming a partnership built on trust and mutual survival. With these allies, humanity's world expanded. Communities grew into settlements, and settlements into early cities. Architecture changed to meet the needs of a land filled with enormous wildlife. High platforms, hanging bridges, sturdy stone walls reinforced with wood. Lookout towers dotted the landscape, watching the movement of giant herds and dangerous predators. And across wide plains, travelers began to move with their dinosaur companions, forming the first caravans that connected distant tribes. As centuries passed, people discovered that the dinosaurs themselves shaped the environment. Massive herbivores kept forests open, turning continents into vast savannas. Predators controlled smaller species, preventing overpopulation. Humans learned to read this living system, predicting migrations, storms, droughts, and danger long before it arrived. They did not conquer nature. They cooperated with it. Eventually, powerful cultures rose. Tribes with the skill to tame and guide dinosaurs gained influence and territory. Entire societies formed centered around their relationship with the colossal creatures. Ceremonies were held to honor the largest of the herbivores. Warriors trained alongside their scaled companions, forming a bond that made them legendary among neighboring clans. Conflicts between human groups were rare, but transformative. Battles fought not with mass destruction, but with strategy, alliances, and determination. Humanity's evolution took a different path. Instead of technology fueled by metal and machines, people developed a civilization shaped by observation, biology, and harmony with the ancient giants of the earth. Their science focused on understanding life, behavior, and ecosystems. Their myths blended with reality, built upon the deep connection between humans and the creatures that had dominated the planet long before human existence. And now, imagine something else. Imagine that these two worlds, ours and theirs, could meet. What would modern humans think if they stepped into a land where the skyline was shaped not by buildings, but by the long necks of colossal herbivores? How would we react to a society that learned to thrive without engines, electricity, or steel, yet lived in balance with the greatest animals to ever walk the earth? Would we attempt to conquer this world? Or would we learn from it, from its harmony, its dangers, and its ancient wisdom? Perhaps in this alternate timeline, humans and dinosaurs would stand not as enemies, but as co-creators of a planet filled with wonder, a world where the past was never erased, and the future was built alongside creatures as old as time itself. This is the story of a world that could have been. A world where humanity grew under the watchful eyes of giants. A world of courage, adaptation, and coexistence. A world where humans and dinosaurs walked together.